Guys, put this right here. Get this out of the way. All right, guys, we are live with another one. Welcome to the channel. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Okay. Did not go live yesterday. Yesterday was my hump day. Okay, it was my break day. All right, and but there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Today's topics. Okay, the UFC came out with some fight news as of recent. Not only that, we got some Ilia Topuria news. We'll get into that later on, as well as Paddy the Baddy. Okay, and we also have a little bit of Armin. Okay, a little bit of Armin news as well. But let's start from the top. Okay, let's start from the top, guys. And as it stands right now, we have a card that's being put together. September 27th, headlined by Carlos Ulberg versus the Dominic Reyes. As you know, guys, Dominic Reyes is on a tear. All right, coming off of a 3-0 win record. Prior to that, obviously, things got a little bit slippery. All right, got knocked out by Jiri Prochazka. And then after that, everything was sort of like a roller coaster. But then Dominic Reyes found success, guys. Dominic Reyes found success. Okay? Let me tell you something. He's 3-0. All right? He had a nice KO of Krylov. That was his last, I believe that was his last fight. And it was a nasty KO, guys. Okay? Nasty KO of Krylov. Dominic Reyes showed that he just might be back. He just might be back. And not only that, guys, but Dominic Reyes also beat the dead body of Anthony Smith, guys. Okay, so remember that those are two wins underneath Dominic Reyes, record right now. But he's 3-0 in his last three. So who is it? Jason 9? Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to your channel, Jason 9. Thoughts on the pointless fight between Gane and Aspinall? Jason 9, look, let me tell you something. That is pointless, okay? I made a whole live about this, guys. I made a whole live about this. Go ahead and go watch it on my channel. It's there. Okay, I talk specifically about my opinion towards Gane and Aspinall. The scary thing about this whole situation is, can you imagine if Ciryl Gane is able to go in there and beat Aspinall? I could see the tweets now from John Jones, honestly. So there's a lot of pressure right now on Tom Aspinall. I could tell you that one, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. And like I always say, guys, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right. Cassandra Robertson says, okay. Said hi. How you doing, Cassandra? Hopefully you're having a good one. So Cassandra, welcome to your channel. Welcome to your chat. Jason, now how you doing, bro? I'm doing good right now. I'm doing good. I can't complain. I cannot complain. You know what I mean? Today is going to be a busy day for me, but I look forward to it. But yeah, guys, we got Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. As I said, Dominic Reyes 3-0. Okay, in his last three fights. His last fight was Krylov, I believe, and Dominic Reyes was able to get into the octagon and get a nasty KO off of Krylov. But he's up against an up-and-comer in Carlos Ulberg, who, you know what? He looks very much impressive. He looks very much impressive. Okay. I mean, he went 3 rounds with Ozdemir. Okay, he went 3 rounds with Ozdemir, and he went 3 rounds with Blachowicz, and he beat Blachowicz. And remember, guys, I understand Blachowicz is older now. You know what I mean? He's not what he used to be. If you really look at what Blachowicz actually, brings to the table. I understand that 5 years ago when he did beat Dominic Reyes, he was another animal. I mean, Blachowicz was able to go in there and just knock out Dominic Reyes with a vicious right hand and finish him off on the ground. But Carlos Ulberg 5 years later was able to beat Blachowicz. Okay, and he went 3 rounds with him, looked impressive. He went 3 rounds with Ozdemir as well, looked impressive. So for Carlos Ulberg, he's riding a 6-0 record right now, guys. 6-0. That's very impressive, man. Dominic Reyes does come with a lot of experience into this fight, but let me tell you something, man. Carlos Ulberg, the guy's impressive. The guy's impressive, and Dominic Reyes better prepare for this one. He better come very prepared. All right, let me see. Hi, Luca Fun Group says hi. How you doing, Luca? Bro, I lost $300 because of that motherfucker Poirier. I agree with Colby now. You. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that, Jason 9. But you know what, Jason 9? Look, man, we lose some, and we win some. I mean, that's the name of the game, and especially if you're betting money. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you're betting money on money that you're willing to lose. Because if you're betting money on if you're betting money with money that you can't afford, then you know what? Me and you need to have a very strong a conversation. Okay, we need to have a conversation. We need to converse about why are you betting with money that you're not okay with losing. Okay, all right, but $300, that's steep. Okay, that's steep, and you know what? I will feel a little bit funny about that, about losing $300 just like that. I would feel a certain way. So I see the heartbreak, Jason 9. But don't worry, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be okay. All right, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna win the next one and maybe lose the next one, and then win the next one and win the next one. That's the way it goes, guys. Okay, that's the way it goes. Let me read some of these comments. Is your toughness max level or is still working on it? Is your toughness max level or is still working on it? I don't understand your question, man. I don't understand it at all. Honestly, I'm just being honest. I have no idea what you're talking about. Toughness. Are you still working on it? I have no idea what you're talking about. Hopefully, you're okay. You know what I mean? Because I can't understand what angle are you coming at me from. All right. But anyways, guys, like I was saying, Carlos Ulberg. Look, I like this fight. But I only like this fight for Carlos Ulberg. You know what I mean? I only like this fight for Carlos Ulberg because the reality of this situation is that the UFC understands where Dominic Reyes is right now. Right? He's in this position where he finds himself, with a good win streak, 3-0 record right now. He had some high moments, right? He fought for gold before against the best in the world in Jon Jones. And a lot of people say that version of Dominic Reyes that fought Jon Jones actually beat Jon Jones. Okay? So Dominic Reyes is in this funny position where he's 3-0. He has some success. And then he lost a few. And now he's found success again. And just maybe, if he's able to go in there and get an impressive win with Carlos Ulberg, Dominic Reyes might just be called a contender, guys. If Dominic Reyes is able to get into the octagon September 27th and beat Carlos Ulberg in impressive fashion, I guarantee you, a lot of people are going to be saying Dominic Reyes is back. He is a contender. Okay? That last knockout, that last TKO of Krylov was not a fluke. That's what a lot of people will be saying if Dominic Reyes is able to step into the octagon September 27th and beat Carlos Ulberg. But that's easier said than done, okay, guys? Easier said than done. Let me read some of these comments. I've been gambling for 20 plus years straight. I'm not addicted. Oh my God. we got a we got a we got a we got a guy over here basically in retirement when we're talking about gambling. Okay, he's talking about 20 years plus gambling, and he's not addicted, guys. I honestly think we need to help this guy. We need to get him the number, which is 1-800 stop gambling, whatever that number is. Okay, I know they always say it on the radio station in Connecticut when I'm driving through that city, because let me tell you something. Connecticut is not a state, is a passerby. All right, I'm sorry if you live in Connecticut, or you reside in Connecticut, or you come from Connecticut and you were born in Connecticut. I feel sorry for you. I really do. It's a passer through town. It's a passer through town. It's not a state, guys. It's not a state. Okay. But anyways, every time I'm passing through that state, they're always giving that 1-800 number for gamblers, because everybody is headed to, New Jersey, to Atlantic City to gamble their life away. But Jason 9 says, don't underestimate Reyes, though. Bro can do it, but I can't. But I get what you're saying. Jason 9, look, Carlos Ulberg is an up and comer. Okay, he's gotten some impressive wins, impressive knockouts as well. He's gone, he's gone 6 rounds, 6 rounds with Ozdemir and Blachowicz, 2 impressive guys in that division to this day. Okay, so like I said, for Dominic Reyes, this is a huge opportunity for him, huge. But it's also a huge letdown if he loses against Carlos Ulberg. It really is. It stops all of his momentum. It just stops it. So Dominic Reyes has more to lose in this fight than Carlos Ulberg does. If Carlos Ulberg loses against Dominic Reyes, Carlos Ulberg can pick himself back up. He's young, dust himself off, get in another win streak, and be right there in contendership. Okay, but if Dominic Reyes loses against Carlos Ulberg, an up and comer, I think we're gonna start saying, maybe Dominic Reyes is his time in the UFC is over. You know what I mean? I think that's what a lot of people will be saying if he loses against Carlos Ulberg, to be honest with you guys. Okay. But moving on from Carlos Ulberg and Dominic Reyes, guys, let's talk about Ilia Topuria. Let's talk about Ilia Topuria right now. Okay? Right now, there's a lot of discussion between who will Ilia Topuria fight next. Okay? I want to know on the chat right now, who do you think Ilia Topuria should fight next? What the hell was that? Man, luckily I had a drink nearby, because you guys almost watched me die. All right? But let me know on the chat, let me know on the chat who you think Ilia Topuria should fight next. And that is the topic of discussion as well. Okay? Who is Ilia Topuria going to fight next? A lot of people think it should be Paddy the Baddy. A lot of people think it's going to be Paddy the Baddy, or it should be Paddy the Baddy, because he puts asses on the seats. And there is past drama, there is past history between Ilia Topuria and Paddy the Baddy, so that'll be a good way to promote that fight. And it'll definitely build some momentum. Okay, it definitely will be. It definitely will do that. But is it the right fight to make? Jason 9 says Paddy. Look, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. In my opinion, okay? In my opinion, I'm just being real, guys. I don't think Paddy the Baddy deserves to fight for gold. I understand. I understand. It'll be a great pay-per-view. The drama between Ilia Topuria and Paddy the Baddy, it'll be just phenomenal. Okay? the press conferences between these two guys, it it'll definitely shake up the UFC. All right, it definitely will. I understand that, but I honestly do not think this is the right fight to make. You know what I mean? If you're really looking at Paddy the Baddy, I mean, he's coming off of a Chandler win, guys. Guys, he's coming off of a Chandler who he left his wife for damn near 2 years. Okay. Um he had a 3-year training camp preparing for Conor McGregor, a fight that never happened. And then finally, eventually, Michael Chandler in the UFC started noticing that that Conor McGregor is never coming back. Okay. And they said, hey, the next best thing for Chandler is put him against Paddy the Baddy. And you saw how that went, guys. Paddy the Baddy went in there, took advantage of Chandler. And in my opinion, yeah, he's in great fights, but I don't think Michael Chandler is a great fighter anymore. And that's just my opinion, man. I just don't think he's a great fighter. You know what I mean? He's totally hittable. The guy has virtually no head movement. He doesn't even use his wrestling, and that's one of his back in the day. That's one of his key attributes. And don't get me wrong, Michael Chandler can bang. He can bang, and he can bang. But in my opinion, look at his record. Michael Chandler's last win, guys. This just went through my mind. Michael Chandler's last win, guys. Michael Chandler's last win was Tony Ferguson. Guys, think about that. No disrespect to Tony Ferguson. Everybody, if you're not new to this channel, you should know that I'm a fan of Tony Ferguson. I am a #1 fan of Tony Ferguson. I love Tony Ferguson. Okay? So it's hard for me to say this. But Michael Chandler's last win was against a dead body of Tony Ferguson, guys. Okay? That was not Tony Ferguson that we were used to seeing, that 12-0 streak Tony Ferguson. Okay? And let me tell you something. Even then, Tony Ferguson won the first round against Michael Chandler and was winning that fight prior to Michael Chandler knocking him out senseless. Okay? So I'm not that impressed with the win off of Michael Chandler. I'm really not. So in my opinion, I don't think Paddy the Baddy should get the next shot against Ilia Topuria. I think it should be Arman, guys. That's the guy. I understand that he pulled out with a hammy. Okay? But guys, he's not known for this. Okay? Things happen. Khabib Nurmagomedov, arguably one of the best fighters in the UFC. A lot of people think he's the GOAT, okay, because he's undefeated. All right, but if you take a closer look into his record and start, seeing his early fights, you start noticing some things. But anyway, that's besides the point, guys. Khabib Nurmagomedov pulled out of more than 4 or 5 fights because of sickness, weight issues, or injury. 4 or 5 fights that I know of, guys. Khabib Nurmagomedov. And here we are talking about that Arman is not deserving to fight Ilia Topuria because he pulled out with a hammy. He pulled out with a hammy. But who gives a shit? That's the next guy. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. Let me read some of these comments. Let me see. Say corn bread. There you go. 20 men wrestling over a top tier Paddy Baddy and a local Dick's Sporting Goods. One of them earlier stating that one of the men took out baby oil and started rubbing it everywhere. Cool. That must be P. Diddy. Knight, you you live right now? I am live right now, Bonito. What's up? Tiny Ferguson, go. Uh, Actually, he should have retired 5 years ago. Patty on TRT Wild. Patty body went from 14-year-old soft Irish kid to 21-year-old African on test in a span of 10 months. WSG gang. What's up, Dean? Longtime supporter. Longtime supporter. Welcome back, Dean. Welcome back to your chat. Welcome back to your channel. And his muscle shape totally changed. 18 minutes late. I am today. It's okay, man. It's okay. Diddler must drown in oil. That's a sad story, guys. That is a sad story. What the? But yeah, guys. In my opinion, off of the top of the dome, I think Ilia Topuria and Arman should be the next fight for the lightweight strap. I don't even think that should be an argument. I don't even think that should be a debate. All right, it's just the right thing to do. And I understand the UFC, they always do what the fans don't want them to do. Okay? Point blank, period. We already know how Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard operate. The two guys that can't put two brains together to come up with one good card. Okay? It's atrocious at this point. Let me read some of these comments. RDR versus DDP will be the drunkest bar fight we ever witnessed in the UFC. James Dillon, welcome back to your chat. Welcome back to your channel. I agree with you. And that RDR fight, let me tell you something. If he didn't cheat, he got saved by cheating because Robert Whittaker had him on the edge. Okay? And, he held on to those gloves. Good thing that the referee didn't stop the fight and take away a point because RDR, he could have lost that fight. Let me see. Baby oil for Diddler. Ilia is all-time GOAT. I don't think so, guys. Ilia Topuria, GOAT. I don't think so. Mustard, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. Literally, who else does Ilia face? A guy who got slept by Max Holloway or BMF who he slept 2 fights ago, or a Patty who only beaten old 38-year-olds. Thank my point exactly, Mustard. Somebody finally agrees with me on the chat. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I was saying, Mustard. Okay? That's exactly what I was saying. Paddy the Baddy's last win was against Michael Chandler, the dead body of Michael Chandler. And if you look deeper into that, okay, Michael Chandler's last win was against the dead body of Tony Ferguson. You know how hard it is to say dead body of Tony Ferguson? But that's the reality, guys. And let me tell you something. Michael Chandler was losing that fight prior to him finishing Tony Ferguson. All right? And that is fucking facts. So when it comes to Paddy the Baddy fighting Ilia Topuria next, it just doesn't make sense in my brain, in my universe. The only thing that makes sense is Ilia Topuria versus Arman. Book it. Let me see. Look, Ilia's last 5 fights. Ilia is one bad little mofo. Look, I agree with you, but he's definitely not a GOAT. Okay? If you're telling me he's on the Mount Rushmore already, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. All right? But opinions are like assholes and sometimes they smell. Okay? Jason 9 says, if it happens, I just hope Arman put the McGregor wannabe to sleep. Jason 9 going deep and saying, if Arman does get the shot, hopefully he's able to put Ilia Topuria right to sleep. Bonito says, Dana, Patty. No, man, I don't think so. 2.0. Dana. I'm still entering my prime. Tony Ferguson. Oh my gosh. Mustard, I understand. I don't even, I don't even entertain the whole Tony Ferguson going into boxing. I'm not even gonna entertain it. I already said my opinion about Tony Ferguson. I think Tony Ferguson should retire. I think Tony Ferguson's family need to sit him down and really have a conversation with him about retiring and never coming back to combat sports again. Okay? And that is fucking factual. I already said this before and I'll say it again. I'm a Tony Ferguson fan. I really am. But man, we're about to see Tony Ferguson get KO'd again, because that Salt Poppy guy, let me tell you something. That dude is serious. That dude is serious with his hands, and I don't like Tony Ferguson's. I don't like Tony Ferguson's chances, man. I really don't. Oh God, somebody have a conversation with the guy. Let me read some of these comments. Ilya is an all-time top one, absolutely top 10. Ilya is you 2.0. You're saying right now, as it stands, Ilya Topuria is top 10 of all time? You're out of control, 2.0. You got recency bias. Like, whoa, you need to calm down. You're going to say something that's out of hand. All right. Let me see. Ilya, let me see. Watch Ilya's last 5 fights, and that will say it all. Look, 2.0. Trust me, I watched all of Ilya's fights. I'm still not sold. Still. Imagine Arman takes out Ilya and robs him of the Islam fight. I honestly don't know if that'll make Islam versus Arman even more hype than Ilya versus Islam. Look, let me tell you something. If Arman can go in there and spoil the party, I guarantee Arman is going to get on the mic and call out his boy, the one and only Islam. I guarantee it. And I guarantee that's his plan. And I guarantee the UFC knows that that's Arman's plan, and that's the reason why they want to put Paddy the Baddy against Ilya Topuria. Okay? Facts. Let me read some of these comments here. But I like where you're going, Mustard. I like where you're going. If it don't matter if a 200-pound Arman fights a 155-pound Ilya and wins, Ilya is top 10 all time. Damn, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. We got 2.0. We got 2.0 over here saying that Ilya Topuria is top 10 of all time. All the mixed martial arts fighters that have graced the Octagon and Pride and WEC and fucking all the old school Japanese motherfucking tournaments. You're talking about Ilya Topuria is top 10 above all those men? Damn. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, but hey, you're entitled to your own opinion, okay? You're entitled to your own opinion. Imagine Gane beats Aspinall. Look, Jason 9. I already said that. Can you imagine if all the hype about Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, and then all of a sudden Cyril Gane is able to go in there and beat Tom Aspinall? Oof. Even if Cyril Gane is able to go 5 rounds and lose a decision against Tom Aspinall, I bet you John Jones is going to be like, I was able to finish Cyril Gane in less than 20 seconds. I see it now. Guarantee it. I see it now. Let me see. Mustard says, hot take, Merab is top 10 all time. I couldn't disagree. Mustard, I couldn't disagree. I made a video about Merab, about how he's the one who should be number 1 ranked pound for pound right now. Should be Merab. It shouldn't be Islam. It shouldn't be Ilya Topuria. It should be Merab. If you want to talk about, look at the last 5 fights. Go look at Merab's last 7 or 8 fights. Okay. If you're not impressed by that, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay. But I agree with you, Mustard. I agree. Paddy versus Hooker, Arman versus Justin. James Dillon, you are out of control. You are out of control. I do agree with you. I like Hooker versus Paddy. That's actually one that I can get around. Okay, that's actually one that I can get around. Arman versus Justin Gaethje. I can't see that. I don't see that at all. You know what I mean? Actually, I'd rather see Paddy the Baddy versus Justin Gaethje. I'd rather see that. I don't want to see Arman fight anybody else or anybody but Ilya Topuria. I don't want to see Arman fight anybody but Ilya Topuria. And when it comes to Justin Gaethje, guys, what makes you think Justin Gaethje is deserving to fight Arman? Guys, Justin Gaethje, really? The guy who beat Rafael Fiziev? Rafael Fiziev came off of 1 week notice and still looked impressive against Justin Gaethje? That guy? Huh. Whoa. What's going on out there, guys? What the fuck they putting in the water? Because, whoa. It's a lot of crazy shit going on out there. Let me see. Justin should even be ranked. Justin shouldn't even be ranked 3. Hell no, James. Thank you, Mustard. You know what, Mustard? Hold on a second, Mustard. You know what? Hold on. That's it, Mustard. That's it. I made Mustard a character. I made Mustard a character in this community because you know what, Mustard. We sometimes disagree, but then we sometimes agree, man. And you know what? I bless you today, man. I bless you today because you're making a lot of sense. Okay, you're making a lot of sense. I'm not saying that just because you're agreeing, okay, and I agree with you, but you're making a lot of sense, my guy. You really are. Damn. Oh shit, this is going fast. Let me see. Manila probably thinks Ilya beats Prime Ngannou. Jason, can you imagine that? Oh my God, Max, one of the all-time most violent, and look what Ilya did. Damn, 2.0 is going in hard. Glory to Russia, glory to Putin. Adam, that's what's up. If Ilya was 199, he would. 2.0 is going out of control right now. I've trained with guys bigger than Ngannou. They're not as tough as they look. Trust me. You are out of control, 2.0. They both want to cry about getting the belt. Entire weight class is entitled and acting like women. Jason 9, what division are you talking about? You talking about the lightweight division? Was Fiziev even ranked when Justin beat him? I think not, Mustard. I think not. If you think Ilya not on Ngannou's level, you blind. Yo, he is going in, bro. 2.0 is going in. Where's my damn wrench? You can't be for real. You gotta be trolling. He got to be Jason. Yo, 2.0 is killing me today, bro. He is on a roll, baby. Yo, he is on a total roll, guys. Guys, sorry, but we're past the 30-minute mark. If you're not new to the channel, this is what happens after the 30-minute mark. We could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related. Rapid fire, okay? But you guys are killing me today, man. You guys are killing me. Thank you, sir. That's what Mustard says. Yeah, man, you're welcome, and thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community, and thank you for the good vibes. Fiziev was crushing people when Justin offered him. Come on, 2.0. Be real, man. Come on, bro. You're not going to really sit there and say that fight, that win off of Rafael Fiziev was impressive for Justin Gaethje. Are you really going to sit there and say that? Come on, guys. Come on, man. You know what? Just for you saying that, I really hope the UFC rebook Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. They need to rebook that fight because you know what? I think Dan Hooker could actually go in there and beat Justin Gaethje. Excuse me. Bro, why are they giving so many no-ranked top 5 guys now? It's so dumb. My point exactly, man. That's, you know what that is about? That's Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby and Dana White. 3 guys that can't put 3 brains together to make the right fight. Okay? Those guys are checked out individually. Okay? Who was Fiziev losing to before the Justin fight? Who was he losing to? He was coming off of a year injury. He was coming off of a catastrophic ACL tear. He was out for a year and a half. What are you talking about? And then he came back and forth. Justin, are you serious right now? This guy's fucking with me. 2.0 is fucking with me. Dan Hooker will cut up Justin Gaethje. Let's be real. Mustard, I want to see it. Let's book that fight, guys. Let's rebook it. The UFC needs to rebook it. I want to see that fight. And you know what? Put that fight at the UFC Apex. I want to hear Dan Hooker beat the shit out of Justin Gaethje. I want to hear it. Okay, guys? Who destroyed Fiziev before Justin? Justin, tell me now. I don't know from the top of my head. I'm sorry. I don't know who Justin Gaethje lost against prior to Justin Gaethje. I'm sorry. Probably no one. Okay, probably no one. Who beat Fiziev before Justin? 2.0 is out of control, guys. Okay, somebody need to put an APB out for 2.0, because let me tell you something. 2.0 is going 3.0 right now. Okay, he is going 3.0. Here goes James Dillon. Armin barely beat Oliveira and hasn't fought in a year himself. He missed weight also, so why is he so deserving? First of all, James Dillon, what news did you hear that Armin didn't make weight? Where did you hear that from? You see, that's the false narrative that the UFC and the rest of these jackasses are trying to sell you. And James Dillon, you ate it up. You ate it up like a whore on a Saturday night. Okay? Ate it all up. Ate it all up. When in reality, Armin did not miss weight, guys. Armin had a back injury. He was having spasms on his back and was unable to proceed, okay, to cut his weight. That is the reality, and that is facts. So I don't know where you're coming with this big news that Armin didn't make the weight, because that was never true. Okay? Never true. And for you saying that Armin hasn't fought in a year and a half, that's the same shit they did to Ngannou. That's not Armin's fault. Are you serious right now? It's called icing a fighter. That's what the UFC does. If you don't do what the UFC does and what they expect of you, they start icing your ass. And that's exactly what they did to Francis Ngannou. They iced him for a while until he said, you know what, fuck you. I'm going to go and I'm going to leave the UFC. Okay? And that is facts. That's the only reason, and that's the only real reason why Armin hasn't fought, because the UFC doesn't give him an opponent. Okay? And they're icing him. Point blank, period, facts. Sorry. Had to go in there. Had to go in there. Hold on a second, guys. I got to read some of these. I got to catch up with some of these comments. Fiziev was offing people for years before Justin fight. Damn, 2.0 is still in this. I didn't ask about Justin. Oh, my God. I went on the Aspinall Gone card because that undercard is disgusting. I want it on the Aspinall Gone card because that undercard is disgusting. That whole card is atrocious. Even that main card, even the headliner, even Aspinall versus Cyril Gane is atrocious. That heavyweight division is atrocious. Okay? You off today? Not focused. I agree, but to be honest, there's not good options for Aspinall in the heavyweight division. I agree with you, Jason 9. I agree with you. Dennis said it himself in a press conference. James Dillon, when? Where? When was it that Armin didn't make weight? I want to know. I want to know when Armin got on the scale and he was unable to make weight. That is not true. That is not facts. No, I don't give a damn what Dana White says. Okay? Dana White says a lot of bullshit that has been bullshit, guys. Okay? All right? Just like how Dana White said that Francis Ngannou is not a good person. And the only reason why he's saying that is because Francis Ngannou went out and made $30 million, way more money than how, Dana White was planning for him and his future. Japan needs an MMA comeback. Japan needs to contact me. Sergio Pavlovich would be a better fight than Gane for me, though. Still not good, but better than Gane. I could see how you could. I could see that. I could see that, Jason 9. I could see that. He blocked Anderson for years. They iced him because he missed weight going into the Islam fight. Jason 9. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, James Dillon. Sorry, James Dillon. Oh my God. I can't believe you right now. I can't believe you. I cannot believe the caca that you spewing. It's not even that, bro. They don't even want to put any good undercards on Aspinall versus Garn. Why not put Izzy on it against MVP or rebook Hooker and Justin Gaethje on it? My point exactly. The reason why they don't want to do that is because they preserve it. You know what I mean? They're preserving because they know for a fact the UFC is headed towards the dark ages. So they're not trying to, have all these great cards. They rather just, have bad cards and admit it to themselves that we're gonna, there's gonna be a little bit, a little bit of turbulence here, but we'll get past through this. That's most likely what they're thinking. It's simple pay heavyweights more and less of them run off to basketball and football. Look, let me tell you something. A lot of the heavyweights aren't going into mixed martial arts. Period. Ducking Daniel Cormier, all he does is eat. Francis is better person than Dana. Dana doesn't like Francis because he doesn't hit enough pregnant women. Damn. Damn, Mustard went in with that one. He went for the low blow. And probably because Francis is not into that gay shit, unlike Jones. You guys are going to the low blow today, bro. Are we forgetting the same situation happened with Charles Islam too, and Charles had to pull out, so we got Poirier Islam. Don't see any hate over that like Armin got. Thank you. My point exactly. Somebody is seeing through the murky waters. Somebody is seeing through the murky waters. Bonito, we need you to make Pride 2.0. That was a good one, Jason 9. I like that. Dana slipped up in the UFC 317 post-fight press conference and said Armin missed weight. You can watch it for yourself. It wasn't a back injury. James Dillon, I don't give a shit what Dana White's I don't give a damn what comes out of Dana White's mouth, especially these days. A guy who's totally checked out, not even promoting his fighters, not even fighting for his fighters for fighter pay. You telling me you want me to believe that guy? Fuck no. I don't want to believe shit. He didn't let anything slip. He's just trying to write a narrative and trying to put it out there so jackasses could start eating it up. Guys, I'm going to grab the fucking mic on this one. Guys, Armin didn't miss weight. Okay? Point blank, period. Damn. Let me see. I'm trying, Jason. I'm looking into New York City or Tokyo, but I can't have my idea stolen. It's in the world. It's in the world. Trust me. By the logic, Charles shouldn't have been worthy of fighting Topuria. Mustard, he shouldn't be. Are you kidding me right now? Charles Oliveira should have never had the opportunity to fight Ilia Topuria. Point blank, period, guys. That is fucking facts. Okay? And I'm not saying that because I dislike Charles Oliveira. No. I love Charles Oliveira. But that is just facts. Armin should have been the guy. He should have. Jason. Oliveira's forehead was split open for that fight against Islam. So I don't know how that's his fault. Dana White told us for years and months that we were getting Aspinall and Jones, and we meant to believe him. Thank you, Mustard. My point exactly. Thank you, Mustard. I mean, James Dillon over here, just trying to shove stuff down our throats. You know what I mean? We're no John Jones over here, guys. We're no John Jones over here, guys. All right? So stop trying to stuff shit down our throats, okay? Let me see. I'm praying Poirier moves to heavyweight. He's got to save that atrocious heavyweight division. I mean, look, Alex Pereira could do anything he wants, to be honest with you. And if he beats Ankalaev and gets his belt back, I guarantee he moves up and he fights Tom Aspinall. If Tom Aspinall is still holding gold. Jason 9 says, I believe you, bro. Damn, I forgot Ilya offered Charles. Damn, Ilya is dangerous. We should ban Ilya. We should ban Ilya from this thing. He gonna hurt someone. Pause that. Except beat Ankalaev. If he wins belt, off Unk, double belt. If he loses, still have him move up, fight Volkov, and winner gets Aspinall. That sounds very interesting, Mustard. Seems like you got it all figured out. And you know what? I like that idea. I really like that idea. And 2.0, look, maybe Alex Pereira doesn't beat Ankalaev. Maybe he doesn't. But maybe that will give him an opportunity to actually move up and fight Tom Aspinall. Maybe that will give him a reason to leave that division completely and dedicate himself to one more fight in the heavyweight division. Just maybe. Okay. Alex is old. That's what 2.0 says. Alex is old, guys. That's what 2.0 says. Alex is old. Well, guys, we already saw in the heavyweight division, you don't have to be young. You don't have to be athletic. And you don't have to be the best technical fighter. Okay? Poirier versus Volkov would be a stand-up enjoyer's wet dream. Mustard, I agree with you. That'll be a badass fight. I think the UFC should potentially book it. I'm interested in it. That's very interesting. I wonder how that fight is going to look. Honestly, that's a lot. I'm telling you, that's a good idea. I like it. Age because doesn't apply to the same to these heavier guys. Look at guys like John Blachowicz. My point exactly. I was just talking about him earlier. Actually, I was just talking about him earlier. You know what I mean? About the Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. You know, I remember when Blachowicz 5 years ago, Blachowicz knocked out Dominic Reyes. Remember that, guys? Remember that? And then soon after, Dominic Reyes goes on a winning streak. He's 3-0 now. And now we find ourselves Carlos Ulberg, September 27th, with an opportunity to fight Dominic Reyes, a Dominic Reyes that comes with a lot of experience. Okay? All right, so there's a lot of crazy things happening out there. Now, when it comes to Ilya Topuria fighting Paddy DeBatty, I don't think that's the fight that needs to happen. I think Paddy DeBatty actually should fight someone like Dan Hooker or someone. I think Armin should be the next guy in line to fight Ilya Topuria. Point blank, period. You think the UFC might be replaced in the future, like Bonito with the Pride 2.0? Jason 9, I don't know. I don't know. The UFC, that those three letters hold a lot of weight. They really do. They hold a lot of weight, and as an organization, I don't think they'll let any other name take over the UFC. It's been around since the doctrination of mixed martial arts over here in America as we know it. So to me, I'll say no. Hell, it's arguable Blachowicz defeated Poirier. That's true. That is very true. That was a good fight. That was a great fight. Okay, and I honestly agree with you. I agree with you on that one. You can you could debate that actually. Actually, I gotta go watch that fight again just to make sure that Blachowicz didn't win that fight. You know what I mean? Because I remember from the top of my head, I was like, man, that fight was close. That fight was close. Imagine Michael Chandler swinging wild in Pride. He'd been perfect. He would have been perfect in that era. He definitely would have been perfect. He definitely would have been perfect. There was a lot of people in Pride that back in the day that were just monsters. You know what I mean? That were just monsters. Chuck Liddell, came from Pride. We have Rampage Jackson came from Pride. A lot of people fought in Pride. I think even did Frank Shamrock fight in Pride? If I'm not mistaken, I think he did fight in Pride. I think Frank Shamrock did fight in Pride, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people came from Pride, man. A lot of people came from Asia, from mixed martial arts over there, man. The Axe Murderer, Damn. Dan Henderson. Shit. A ton of people over there. A ton. That organization was great. Even Jones was afraid of Blachowicz. Hey, Blachowicz called him out in the octagon, and John Jones didn't fight him. John Jones did not fight him. Marco Krokop, oh my god, yeah, yeah, man. Left leg, what was it? Left leg death, right leg cemetery, or something like that. Krokop was a fucking beast. He was a beast, man. He really was. He wasn't the same type of beast in the UFC, obviously. You know what I mean? But he was a beast. He was a beast. Now imagine Ngannou with Pride Rules. Holy shit, Jason Knight. Can you imagine that, guys? Can you imagine Francis Ngannou in a boxing ring with MMA gloves? Man, and guys, can you imagine those fights that, went for like damn near like 15 minutes? They had like no time limits. Sometimes the fights will go up to 20 minutes. Can you imagine Francis Ngannou having the opportunity to go 20 minutes with another human being? Holy shit. Bring out the stretchers. You know what I mean? Bring out the doctors. Bring out the nurses. Somebody is going to die. Somebody is going to die, guys. Guarantee. Ngannou versus Poirier in Pride Rules would be, oh my gosh, Alex Pereira versus Francis Ngannou. Wow, what a fight. I mean, even in the UFC, that fight would have been fucking bonkers. So even with Pride Rules, oh my God, phenomenal. Phenomenal, guys. You got me sold. You got me sold, Mustard. Jason 9 and Mustard got me sold. Or a rematch, Prime versus Prime, Yoel Romero versus Robert Whittaker in Pride Rules. Holy shit. Holy shit. Those fights with Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker were legendary in the UFC. Can you imagine them fighting with Pride Rules with no time limit? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That honestly, that tickled my pickle. That tickled my pickle right there. All right, guys, it really did, guys. It really did. You did it for me right there, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. And like I always say, guys, this is your channel. I am just a pilot. The only channel where the fans come first, not last, guys. It's been great. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you, Mustard. Thank you, Jason 9. Thank you, James Dillon. Thanks all you guys. Even Bonito 2.0. Thank you all. I appreciate it, guys. I'm most likely going to get back on tonight and talk more mixed martial arts. So I'll see you in that live. And I definitely will be going live for this Saturday night event. This UFC card, this UFC atrocious card that Mick Mader and Sean Shelby put together. So I will be going live Saturday as well. But I'll see you guys later. God bless. Until next time, one love. Peace.